Hey, you know what, kids? We've all asked this question of ourselves before. The question is, am I overreacting? That is the subject of today, and here's what that sounds like. Am I overreacting? Am I overreacting? Am I overreacting? So, without further ado, let's get into the first story. Do I want that light on? Just kidding, it's a surprise microphone. It's wireless this time. I have a wireless microphone this time. I have a wireless microphone this time. Am I overreacting about my daughter's teacher calling her out in front of the class about me, her mom, supposedly not reading emails? Is this okay, or am I overreacting? Yesterday was the book fair. My daughter's class was the first to go in the morning. I love the book fair. Oh, man, the book fair, dude. I think to this day, I almost have a fetish for Barnes & Noble, because whenever I go there and I smell the books, I have so many books. Look. Do you see this library behind me? Do you see that? I have so many books that I'll read like half of them. I'll read all of them halfway through, and then I stop. And I'm like, I get the gist. It's probably because I read a lot of nonfiction, and the first half of every book kind of teaches you the principles of what it's about. And then the second half is like, and here's an example of it. Nonfiction books got to figure it out. They got to have more plot in them. They got to have some kind of thing that just strings you along to the end of it. You know what I mean? I think that's something we got to work on. We got to school at 8:05, so we were 5 minutes late. We walked to the bookstore. I gave her $30 and even stayed and picked out books with her. Her teacher tells the whole class after I left, you know how Sarah's mom forgot about the book fair? Make sure your parents read the emails. Excuse me? Singling out a kid and their mother? Bad juju. You know how Sarah's mom forgot about the book fair? Make sure your parents read the emails. Look. If my kid is going to a school and I show up and I find out that you were not only talking smack about me, but my child, by extent, if you talk crap about a kid's mom, you're also talking crap about the kid. You know what I mean? That's not good. I don't think she said anything like offensive, but it does point somebody's parent out in an unfavorable way, which is very bad, I think. It's like, whatever you do, don't be like Sarah. But then again, I don't know, maybe it was like funny in the classroom in the moment. Maybe it was something people liked. I don't know. What the heck? My daughter came home and was asking me weird questions about if I check the emails, and to show her that I do, I said, yes, I do. In fact, the following day, I volunteered to help get up the fall festival through the emails. She said she felt embarrassed when the teacher did that and thought it was mean. I also don't know how old this kid was. That's a different thing too, like how old the kid is. Is this crazy or what? And I feel like even if I didn't ever look at my emails, let's say, when would it ever be okay to single out a child in front of everyone if it was the parent's fault? Yeah. I think having been a teacher at summer programs for like 5 years, I think you don't ever want to single out a kid if they're not like misbehaving or something. Like there's been a time, I'm not gonna lie to you, there has been a time where there was a kid who was sort of talking when they shouldn't have been talking, and it was pretty annoying, and it was stopping the progression of the whole class. And what I did was I turned to that kid and I was like, hey, let's say his name is Bob. Hey, Bob, it seems like you would like some attention. Is it okay if we give you that attention now? Everybody, look at Bob. And that's what happened. Everybody turned and they looked at this kid. That's what he deserves. Bob, I'm looking at you. You remember me. You remember that moment. You know how sometimes you tease a friend? Like if somebody shows up late to an event, like you're out here, oh, look who finally showed up. You know what I mean? Maybe that's kind of this teacher's angle. Maybe this teacher is trying to be friendly with your mom. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what's going on. You being the mom. Sorry. But the fact that the daughter felt embarrassed and they thought that the teacher was being mean. You know, one time I had a bagpiping instructor call me stupid. I was 14, I was 13 or 14, and they just straight up was like, somebody's not stupid like Daniel, right? It was very cool. I go home and I told my mom and dad, I was like, she called me stupid, and I don't like that. And so my parents were like, oh, let's go handle that. And they went and they talked to her. I'm not sure what they said. She didn't call me stupid anymore after that. Yeah. I don't know. Having been a teacher, not even a full-time teacher, just somebody who teaches over 2 or 3 months in the summertime on a few occasions, it is a really hard job. And you don't need me to tell you that. Just look anywhere, any direction. You'll understand that teaching is a really difficult thing. So the one time that a teacher says something kind of dumb and it embarrasses the daughter, it's just not good. Yeah. But it makes me even more mad because I was one of only 3 parents that joined them at the book fair. Like, clearly I remembered. Okay, so you walked to the bookstore, the book fair. You were there 5 minutes late. You walked to the bookstore and you gave her $30 and even stayed and picked out books with her, your daughter. That's a sweet thing you did. It is a busy world out there. Being 5 minutes late to something. I'm in LA, by the way, where being late is like expected almost. You try to get there early, you try. But the expectation out here is that you text people updated ETAs. Do I think you're overreacting? I think, no. I think it's worth having a conversation and be like, I really would appreciate it if you didn't single me or my daughter out as an example. It feels weird because she's too young to be able to defend herself or me. And if it's on me, then why are you pointing her out? You know, just be like, all you really have to say is, hey, just make sure your parents read the emails, okay? Not, don't be like this kid's mom. Let's say I was married and I had a kid with my wife and somebody said that about my wife, I would be actually really mad. So no, I don't think you're overreacting. If the teacher has a problem with you, they need to communicate with you, not shame your child. Bingo. Bingo. Because the kid can't defend, you're in this power dynamic again. The kid can't defend themselves at a young age, young enough to where they're going to a book fair. What is that, elementary school age? They're too young to like defend themselves against all of their peers that you're having gang up against them because of something the mom might have done, might have been responsible for it being late. I mean, no, you're 5 minutes late, but still, it's like, do you want the kid to think that their mom is dumb? Is that what you want? What is the end result there? Do you want all the kids to think that one kid's mom is dumb? You know what I'm saying? Just think the extra step. You say this thing, and then what? And then what happens? It gets sucked up into the vacuum of the universe? No, not in front of children. Why? Children remember everything, okay? They soak that up, they hold on to it. This kid is not going to forget that. I'm never going to forget when that piping instructor called me stupid. And I'm never going to forget also how my parents dealt with that, right? Like them dealing with that made me feel somewhat invincible. And a lot of the confidence that I have today is because my parents would fight for my behalf. Am I overreacting for being upset that my husband bought some new clothes even though he didn't get me a birthday present? Yo. No. My instinct is no. My birthday was about a week ago. My husband and I played hooky from work and enjoyed a nice day together. Money is very tight, and the only way we were able to do everything on my list was due to getting some birthday money from my great aunt. I pretty much financed my birthday. My husband got me a card and promised he'd get me a present on his next payday. Yesterday, a package came in and it was a new outfit. I'm not sure when he ordered it, but I asked him about it. He said he got it on layaway, so it wouldn't be this much. It wouldn't cost a lot of money. Okay, this is a big point here. I'm not sure when he ordered it, so he could have ordered it like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, like a few paydays ago before your birthday. I don't know. Clothes don't arrive like next day. You know, they take some time. I'm trying to think about that. Would I be mad? Well, I don't really care about gifts, really. That's not really like a love language that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really like, gifts aren't high priority for me and how I feel love. They kind of are in how I express love. I think like I just like, oh, I got this little thing for you, you know. This is my issue. I've always gone over the top on his birthday and Christmas gifts just to be sorely disappointed that the same effort wasn't shown in me. His birthday's in November and I'm half tempted to just get him a card and make it another day. Am I overreacting or should I be grateful he made an effort to spend the day with me on my birthday? For me, I would be very happy with just spending the day with somebody. I would be super happy to just spend time with my girlfriend or my friends or whatever. That to me is a great birthday, right? But this is your husband. The assumption is that he's going to be with you for every one of your birthdays, or at least most of them, you know, unless he's traveling for work or something. So my thought process right now is like a little thing. He got you a card. He's broke, you know. The outfit for him is on layaway. It's kind of a sad situation. Like I can, honestly, with you guys, just being real with you, I don't feel like I can weigh in on this situation because I feel bad. I wish he could have gotten her something, but I don't know if the thing that he wanted to get her was available for layaway or not. That's what I think. But if his payday comes up and he didn't get her anything like he promised he would, then that's not great. Let me see. Let me go down here and see what's going on. I personally would match his effort. No more, no less. Then go out and buy yourself an outfit. I think that's fair. Wow. LOL. No, yeah, I get why you're annoyed. LOL. Thanks. I appreciate your understanding. Look, he's showing you what he thinks is a reasonable effort. Give him a card. He can finance the rest. It's a normal day, just a card extra. no cake. They don't get it till it happens to them. See if next year's any different. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so he could have done something. This is my issue. I've always gone over the top on his birthday and Christmas gifts just to be sorely disappointed at the same event. Okay, do you guys share a bank account also? Because that's kind of a thing, right? Sharing a bank account and you buying something. I have heard tell of situations where men are begging their wives not to get them anything for their birthday because it's expensive and they share an account. It's like, I really don't want us to spend money on this expensive thing for me. And that makes sense. You know, two people's spending habits are different. And sometimes people will prioritize one thing over the other. Like, who knows if this outfit is for work or not? Who knows if this outfit is for like a big event that he has to show up for? I don't know. I don't have a lot of context. And I am this is not a story that I really feel like I can weigh in on because money is tough. Am I overreacting about my partner's behavior at the hospital? A year ago, I fell from a high height. I didn't hit my head, but the force of the fall caused neck and brain injuries. That's horrible. I originally went to urgent care, but after I told them the distance, they urged me to go to the ER because the potential of massive trauma was very high. Yo, you don't mess with the spine. You don't mess with the spine. You don't mess with the head. A concussion, dude. The brain is so scary. It's this little fleshy sack of wetware that if a wire goes wrong or something pops that shouldn't pop, it's such a scary thing. The human body. It is like, boom, you're out. You could trip on a shoelace and boom, bye bye. Bye-bye. That's scary, dog. Oh, God. Okay, let's keep going. My spouse of 8 years and me went to the ER with our preschooler. In the ER room, multiple staff members came towards me quickly, putting me in a neck brace, touching different areas of my body, saying, can you feel this? Can you feel that? They thought I had broken my neck or that I had an aneurysm from the force of the fall. It was extremely traumatizing, which makes sense. They should be prioritizing you. They should be immediately coming to you and be like, all right, let's make sure you're not going to accidentally slip a disc or something, and then you're gone. It's so, dude, oh God. My mom was the clinical leader of neurosurgery at a children's hospital, and every day she would come home. She would remind me of how lucky I was to be not involved in some kind of an accident or not born with a particular degenerative disease or something. Like dude, the body is crazy. They told me I needed to get a CT scan with contrast to make sure my neck or blood vessels weren't broken. As we waited for them to give me this scan, I was crying. Our kiddo was on me asking, Mommy, what's wrong? My partner was on TikTok. Okay, so the kid was on top of you, who is in a neck brace, could have a spinal thing, neck thing, head thing, where that additional, even though it's very light, 20 pounds, 8 years old, I don't know, 50 pounds, is on your chest saying, Mommy, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to catch a break. And then your partner is over there on TikTok, not being an active dad. The thing is, I've noticed this frequently, especially recently. Men are, on average, and I was one of them, men are bad at dealing with the health of their partner sometimes. I don't know what it is. It's like, hopefully it's that the thought of this hurts so much that they're doing anything to distract themselves. It's like they're doing anything to prevent, themselves from thinking about losing the other person potentially. Maybe it's like their brain just breaks or snaps off or something. But what it might end up just being is these dudes kind of suck. They kind of suck at this. You know what I mean? I don't get it, man. What is up with these guys who like belittle their partner's medical problems? I don't understand. I'll never understand that. I don't know if it's because I was raised by like two nurses, like my dad is a nurse and my mom is a nurse and my stepmom is a nurse. And like, I just think I got a lot of nurses in my family. And so I'm very attuned to asking somebody what's wrong when they feel bad. And, even if it's a headache, it's like, do you want ice? Do you want an Advil? Do you want ibuprofen? I'm very careful about that kind of stuff. I'll never understand men who dismiss their partner's feelings, physiologically. I'll never understand that. This was so hurtful for me. So I asked him, do you need to be on your phone right now? He got angry at me, saying if it were him, he wouldn't get mad at me over this. And what is the point of worrying if we don't know if anything is wrong? He also said that all he could think about was how hungry he was because he'd skipped breakfast, even though I had made some. He had me DoorDash burgers at the hospital. I will say he probably gone 3 days without his antidepressants. Oh, okay. This is something here, though. This is something. Yeah, his brain is doing a backflip. You're not supposed to just go cold turkey on antidepressants. I'm saying this is somebody who's on SSRIs, and I've gone once like 2 or 3 days without them, and I felt weird. I felt super weird, man. My brain was off. However, with that said, I would like to think that through the fog, through the weird, shift that's happening in my brain, I would still be able to understand and prioritize my partner's health and be able to put the TikTok down and focus on the kids, But this is a little piece of information that maybe explains some of his weirdness, but I don't know. But no, I completely sympathize with the wife and the fact that this dude who's supposed to be her protector, her provider, all the whatever, if we believe in that, heteronormative gender role. Forget the heteronormative gender role. It's just being a partner at all is being involved and concerned with your partner and being like, hey, you feel horrible. I'm so sorry. Can I do something to make you feel more comfortable? Get off of her. Why are you jumping on her and saying, what's wrong, mommy? Relax. Just let her calm down. She's in a freaking neck brace. Just get down, Samantha. You know what I'm saying? It's been a year, but I can't forgive him. I have lingering cognitive effects, including POTS and daily neck pain. POTS is a disorder that causes an abnormally rapid heart rate when standing up. It is pronounced postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's when you transition from lying down to standing up, you get a fast heart rate, dizziness, fatigue, and there's no cure. Daily neck pain, lingering cognitive effects. Yeah, so you have an issue. You have trauma from this, actual physical trauma, Almost all of the sex has ceased, which he's very resentful for. He says if it had been him, he wouldn't have minded. I told him that if it were him, I would have never behaved in such a way. I just can't forget him laughing at TikTok while I cried in a neck brace, wondering if I had an aneurysm I could drop from at any time. Aneurysms are so scary. I was just talking about this last week to some friends of mine. It's like one day your brain will be like, nope, and then boom, you're out. That's so scary. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm really not. This is for hee-hees. This is for giggles. But dude, you guys know what I'm talking about. You ever think about that? Spooky time, So here we have a woman who's feeling really sad. She's feeling really concerned about her well-being, being the mother of this 8-year-old kid, and then the father, the partner in crime, is sitting over there laughing at TikToks. It really sucks how many relationships and marriages truly reveal themselves when there's a hardship. It sucks that you can't, there's no way to predict that. I really do, I sincerely wonder, is there a way when you're in the first, let's say 3 months of dating somebody, to go through a hardship or have a trial hardship to where you can kind of predict how somebody else is going to behave when you're going through it? That's something I want to know. Has my light been off this whole time? I'm just getting another surprise microphone. That's right! That is right! I can do it as many times as I want. Why? Why is that? It is because it is wireless. It's because it's wireless. It can be anywhere. It could be in places where it wasn't before. It could be over here even. I just can't forget him laughing at TikTok while I cried in a neck brace, wondering if I had an aneurysm I could drop from at any time. That is how my grandfather died. Yeah, which he knows about. I can't forget him yelling at me that he was so hungry he couldn't think about anything else. I just can't help but ask myself, is that how a husband should behave when their wife is potentially critically injured? No, that is not how a husband should behave. That is nuts. Am I overreacting? I feel like the relationship was over in that moment. Why would I ever let into my body someone who had so little regard for me? Right. So it's been a year. You're not doing the nasty no more. Can you try to you have a kid. You have an 8-year-old kid together. You've been married for a while. Let me ask you this question. If this kind of thing were to happen again, would his behavior change? That's what I want to know. Because maybe it could. Maybe it could change. I don't know. I don't know how he feels. He seems kind of dumb, though. There's an update here, though. Here we go. Edit to add. 1, I need to address a mistake I made. After some people asked if I was using my phone with a neck brace on, it made me realize that he was the one to order DoorDash. Sorry about that. I had a fresh brain injury. So that was a detail that was wrong. But he did yell at me and tell me that all he could think about was that he had skipped breakfast. My kiddo was lying on me watching TV because they were worried about me. 2nd, I don't need to go into the details of my accident, whether some of you believe the severity or not. He knew the severity. But also, he and I split up a week ago. Though he is still here while looking for other housing, I ended it with him after many unhappy years after realizing we have different values in life. Yo, values. values. If you have different values, it's going to show in ways that you can't communicate your way out of. That's a real thing. Sometimes you cannot communicate your way out of having completely different values than somebody else, which sucks. But especially after having an 8-year-old kid, dude, going through hardships together like that and just not making it. Oh, God, that sucks, man. I'm trying to think of what I did. My girlfriend recently got into a car accident. She got rear-ended. Her head really hurt. I immediately picked her up. I stopped whatever I was doing. I took her to the nearest hospital because I thought she might have had a concussion. I sat with her. I was not on TikTok at all. I wasn't on Instagram. I was sitting with her. I was trying to fill out her paperwork for her, asking her questions, but she was able to do it, which is great. And I waited with her and I just talked to her the whole time. And that's it. I ended it with him after many unhappy years, after realizing we have different values in life, values different enough that we can't both have the things we want in life. Saying everything out loud, ending it, finally brought up the pain that I've been pushing down for so long. This wasn't a question of whether I should leave him. I was more wanting to see if my own hurt over previous incidents was clouding my judgment. Thanks for all your opinions and the kind words. Everyone will be happier in the long run, though it hurts so bad right now. Yeah, you have a kid, it's you've been together for so long. It's just, there's no easy way out of that, dude. Sometimes you don't understand what somebody else is like until you both go through a hardship together, and I'm really sorry it turned out this way for you. But you know what? Here's to finding the person who will be able to handle that situation. Here is to the person who will stick by your side through thick and thin. You know what? I'll stick by you through thick and thin. How's that? You got one. And that's me. This was similar to my sotoma diagnosis at my retinologist. Okay, hold on. Sotoma? Is that eye cancer in the eye? Let me see. Sotoma, a partial loss of vision or blind spot and otherwise normal. Okay. I still have it, and the doctor did say there was potential for more spots to appear or for me to start going blind in my eye with the sotoma. They used to say it freaked me out, and when I expressed this to my partner, it seemed like he didn't care. Some guys will go, well, because it's not definite, maybe I can just ignore it. Sometimes, call me crazy, but sometimes partners want to know whether or not you care if they live or die. And if you're watching this and you think to yourself, I don't know if my partner would care if I lived or died, then there is something going on to where they're not respecting you the way that you deserve to be respected. I'm a genetic counselor, and I worked in a cancer center seeing patients that were planning their treatment journey. Oftentimes, they would come to the consult with their partners. Most of the patients I saw were women with newly diagnosed breast cancers, deciding what type of surgery to have, etc. I saw plenty of loving couples, but I did see many couples that shook me because of the lack of empathy. Men who wanted to delay treatment so they could have another kid. Men who wouldn't support mastectomies due to cosmetic reasons. And simply dudes who couldn't be bothered to be there. I had multiple patients who left their partners even in the middle of cancer treatment. It's an eye-opening moment. If you make it through this, I would say that man is probably not the person you want beside you for whatever comes next. Because that's the thing. Something comes up. There's gonna be a next. Sorry. You don't get one hardship and then the rest of your life is smooth. There's going to be a next. It might not be as hard as the last time. Hopefully that an extreme hardship such as this one where you think you're going to die of a brain aneurysm, hopefully that moves on. But, there's always a little bump in the road in the future. And you got to trust that the person that you're with, you got to trust that your partner is able to handle that, man. Why is this becoming like a weird therapy session? I'm not trying to be a weird therapist. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying. I'm just saying this is like a weird, dude, guys, come on. Guys, hey, sometimes your partner wants you to listen to their concerns and like mirror it back to them. That's it. Oh my God, that's so scary. Are you okay? Can I do anything for you? Done. Empathy and dependability are two of the most important things you can have in a partner. Also, I have been divorced. My ex had very little sympathy for me and for others, and I kept making excuses for him. Now that I've dated other people, I am shocked by how easy it is to connect with them when there's genuine caring and empathy. It is way better on the other side. Let that be a lesson for you. Well, there is a world where you're with a person that makes you feel heard and seen and validated. And there is also eye bleach on Reddit. Here we go. We're going to look at a couple golden retrievers successfully retrieving. Oh yeah. Golden retrievers have those faces where they're just kind of Mitch McConnelling a little bit. Oh yeah, get it. Oh yeah. Did you get it? You got it. Dogs don't care about the fact that when you open your eyes underwater, it burns a little bit. Dogs don't care about that. They see the ball, they want the ball, they get the ball. Oh, look at this hamster named Toulouse. That looks like a mouse. That's a hamster? That looks like a mouse. That looks a lot like a mouse. This is a hamster, dude? What's the difference between a hamster and a mouse? Okay, so they do look really similar. Hamsters are a little bigger. I didn't realize how close they were. Dude, look at this. Look at that. Those little black eyes. Little baby eyes. Oh, there's a little puppy sleeping. Oh, man, there's a little puppy. He's just sleeping in a little sock, a little white puppy, little white socks as his top. A little top blanket. I think we've dibbled and we've dabbled today. We did a little dibble and a little dabble, and hopefully some of that eye bleach helped rinse you off before you continue about your day. In the meantime, I've got some other videos for you to check out. Check them out on this channel. And also outro.